Okay, this time we're going to do an industry by industry switching. We have our train here. We have makeup here, boxcar, coal car, 3 box cars, a flat car, plastic pellet hopper, boxcar, 2 more pellet hoppers, and another the other boxcar, which is right here. Of course, we're using New York Susquehanna Western 4024 for the power. I'll go down to the post office tomorrow. I'm filming this just before Rick's Sidetrack Sunday. See if the other locomotive is there, but I doubt it because I think when Sparky live streamed, I think the boxes from the prizes were still sitting next to him. So, what we're going to be doing today, right now, in this video, is we're going to be switching, we'll call that Kevin's Plastics. Over here. No. Up here. This has 5 cars spotted at it right now. 3 on the track on this side, 2 on the track on this side. We have to pull the 2 farthest down, and we have to spot 3 cars here. So what we will do is we don't have any more headroom, so what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to shove these cars back, connect them up to cars at the freight depot to have our train down there, and then we'll work the industry, pull out our 2 cars, which is a Rio Grande and a unweathered Southern Pacific, and we have a weathered Burlington, Southern Pacific, and Rio Grande to spot. And of course, one of this Rio Grande will probably go on the track on this side, and then the 2 others will go in the place of or near the Santa Fe that's on this track. So I'm going to pause the video and back this train up to deliver those cars, and we'll see you then. Okay, that's going to take some editing together because I pressed resumed and it decided to stop instead. So we got our train backed up. We changed direction, and oddly enough, the direction button on my thing is cracked. Not quite sure how that happened. Maybe a mouse tried to chew on it or something. Lift that car up. And wait for the Susquehanna to pull forward. And he's stopped. Throw the switch. Reverse. Gotta throw this switch. Oh, let's see, he'll come back. I need to measure these and figure out how many car lengths it is for a more sophisticated operation. I'm not sure how many car lengths it is. It's going to be up light power. Stop. Throw the switch. Goes back. It's about 2 to a tie. One. Half. Ten feet, maybe. Come on, get moving. You gonna move? He's step 3 and he's not moving. There he goes. Okay. Stop. 3 step. Listen to the compressor. conductors. Actually, a couple together. Conductors attached to the air hoses. Since it's a level track and there's only 3 cars, they probably only have to release 1 brake. So, okay. Now we can take it ahead. However many to clear the switch. It's a long track. As I said before, we're pulling the Rio Grande of the Southern Pacific. Eventually I'll have the overhead lights in this room working. Now he throws the switch, bring it back about 4 to a tie. How did he stop? How did he stop? Why did he stop? Car was bottomed out. There's a little bit of a grade there, and he bottomed out. Okay, what happened? Whoa! He knocked the coupler out of that. What is going on here? Get back up there. Hang on, we got something going on. Okay, we're back. Well, Jason, you see it this far, you'll know that, sorry, but there's a Southern Pacific car that is out of service. I'm not quite sure where it went. I don't see it, but the coupler pocket cover came off. The coupler fell out, and I can't find the cover. I have other cars that have covers, so I could put it back in service. Simple enough, but they're over there, and I'm over here. So I'll do that later, but okay, we got our car pulled. Reduce that by 1, at least for now. And I pulled up the cars to here. So, do not want to go up to speed step 14. Just want to pull ahead a little bit. The initial problem was there is a little bit. What is that? Okay, what is going on here? Now they're touching down here. What are they doing? Okay. Oh, stop. Okay, so we have our Rio Grande car. We'll uncouple that. We'll bring the train forward. There should be enough room. If there isn't, we'll have to shove the whole thing back. Just enough room. Throw the switch. momentum instead of the direction. Okay, we're going to dispense with the prototypical stuff for right now, since this is just for fun right now. Anyway, now we got to bring our DR2W car back, and he's going to go on that track with the Firestone and Santa Fe car. And now, let's see what of those 4 cars need to be pulled. Okay, so the Santa Fe box car that I pulled out of the thing, this one needs to be set out, so we'll set that out on that track, because nothing's going on to that track right now. And this car is going to get pulled next from be pulled the next time I run this. So that car's got to go in there. Got to go into a spot that can be unloaded. So I'm trying to switch only the plastic pellet, the Kevin's Plastics. I also have to do some finagling around because I have limited space at the head end. And for some reason okay, I'll grab a couple, 3 more of these to see which of these cars is going to have to be. And then I'll do that switching off camera. Welcome back. I have to do something with this Southern Pacific too. The pin is catching. It's only catching occasionally. I'm not quite sure why, because it's in the middle and it keeps catching on things on the side. But what we're doing here is we're setting out the 2 plastic pellet cars that have to go onto that track. We're putting them just to go onto that track that I'm pointing at right now, just according to the camera. And then we're going to couple these together. We're going to shove them down as far as we can. And then we'll collect those cars and put them in there. There's quite a bit of space, and we might be able to get them all the way down to the point where the Rio Grande is clear. And for some reason, these keep derailing there. I'm not quite sure why. And the KCS derailed. Something was probably too light in the middle. So sometimes the trains will go through there perfectly fine, and sometimes they don't. So probably one of these cars is probably too light, and it's just the end cars are just too heavy for the cars something. And they're just sandwiched through on, I would say. KCS is still off the rails. Like fixing the frog. No, it's not that fixing the frog. There we go. And this axle on the Santa Fe is still off. Okay. So, yeah, heavy rain. got a warning that was heavy. We were going to plant the garden during Rick's stream, but yeah, it just started to pour. I knew it was going to. I went downstairs. Mom didn't answer me. I told her. I tried to tell her. You can look out a window and see. Now we're shoving these cars all the way back. Now, of course, in the real railroad, you'd have to stop, connect the air hoses, grease the brakes, and all that other stuff. It takes a lot longer to do stuff on the real railroad than on the model railroad. Of course, you can mimic that long thing, and I might, once I get a more finished layout, and okay, we're going to stop it there. It's almost to the end of the track down there, so we have plenty of room here. Just going to switch direction. No, do not want to go up to speed step 17. You're just going a couple car lengths. And stop it there. And we'll come back. Hook onto those cars. I think they're down there on the rails. Yeah, they're on the rails. That pin on that CB&Q is really low. I think the coupler might be coming out of the pocket too. Hard to tell from this distance. We can make a long video just switching one industry. Of course, it could have been made easier by having the cars for that industry all together. Where's the fun in that? That takes all the challenge away. Couple of you blasted. Okay, we're just going to have to run this up to let's clear that switch and just put those cars down by hand. All these plastic pellet hoppers need fixing. Santa Fe is sticking. Hey, I found the coupler the bottom of the coupler pocket for the Southern Pacific. Well, let's get that fixed, shall we? And I can grab it. It's underneath the train right now. Okay, so we're gonna throw this switch because these two cars have to go into this track right here. And now they will be pulled next time. Get this around. And they uncoupled again. I'll get into maintenance on cars eventually. Fixing trip pins and such. Rick's live right now, but I'm going to finish up what I'm doing here and then watch Rick. Still raining, so not, of course with it ground soaked, not going to plant anyway because you just get your feet wet. Okay. This switch is going back here. Need more light in this room. That's a 60 watt equivalent bulb, but those aren't equivalent to 60 watts. That's a line of. They're nowhere near as bright. It's a 60 watt bulb. Alright, now we gotta pull out the rail box and the Rio Grande. Meanwhile, let's fix the Southern Pacific. And coupled again. What the? Would you stop uncoupling? What the? Quick! What the? What in blue blazes? What is this doing? Coupler pocket's loose. It's another one that I gotta drill out and put a screw in. Have to get a bunch of small screws. And since I fixed this one, we'll put that back in the train. Here, I throw that switch. Bring it back, we'll get out this put that next to there. We can get this sped up a little bit. This is going to be a long video. Hopefully I can make it into one. That atlas is ticking. There's nothing for it to tick to. Okay. Our last bit of business for this video is deliver that Santa Fe back to Kevin's Plastics. That was the recording. Wasn't sure for a second there. Gotta fix that sharp change in grade because tires uncoupled now. And with this, our work at Kevin's Plastics is done. Just uncouple that. Bring the locomotive out, bring it back to our train. We got our blue Lego marked at that box, marked for that box car. The two piloted hoppers are in our train makeup here. And we will see you in the next video. Later.